It's senior night from Granite Hills High School. Welcome, everybody, to some East County football. What a matchup we have for you here tonight on the San Diego section. CIF Prep Insider Football Game of the Week. Jonathan Rifkin with you for the play-by-play high above in the press box. We are ready to rock and roll. I will get you set for the game as we progress. Granite Hills electing to kick off to open the game on senior night. It's a squib kick front left side. It goes out of play. Free kick out of bounds. We'll give Helix the football. Both teams really displaying some sort of powerhouse football in East County this season. Granite Hills, as announced by Kellen Cobbs, comes into tonight at 4-0. Coach Cobbs in his his ninth season at Granite Hills. 63 wins and 37 losses up to tonight. Only 2 seasons under 500 on the other side for Robbie Owens in his 5th season. 44-14. Also had quite a tenure in Grand Junction, Colorado. We will talk about that as the night progresses. Hope everybody's enjoying their evening. What better way to spend a Friday night than with some football here in El Cajon. Granite Hills in their dark blues. Navy blue numbers and letters on the front and back. Helix in their whites in the pistol. Out comes McComb, and initially it's a handoff up through the A-gap out across the 40. This is in Helix territory. They're going from left to right as Sun begins the set. A gain of 3 on the run. Call it 2nd and 7 here. Helix coming into tonight at 2-2. They are 2-0 in league. Opened up the season with 2 straight losses. St. Augustine and Mater Dei Catholic, though, riding a 2-game winning streak. Beat Steel Canyon and Grossmont the last 2 games. Here we go on the rollout. And Washington able to carry it up to the left side, down past the 45, and that's where they'll spot him. It'll be 3rd and about 2. So we've seen 3 different really 2 different quarterbacks this season for Helix. We've seen Tarling and Jesse, the freshman, who seems to be the go-to starter for this team. He does have 20 completions on 51 attempts. A hair over 330 yards on the season. Lines up in the pistol. Extra blocker up front. 2 wide receivers and a tight end. Defense showing a 4-3 set. It's a handoff. And good, there goes Washington up the middle, but he is stuffed on the play. Could only get a yard out of it. Great showing from the front 7 right there for Granite Hills, coming into today at 4-0. They've had an impressive 4-game winning streak here in the 2021 season at Valhalla, home against El Capitan. They beat Grossmont and at Steel Canyon for their 4 wins, looking for their first win against Helix since 2005. Where they won 38-35. Since then, Helix has gone 11-0 in this matchup. This one, though, perhaps bigger than we've seen in recent memory. And on 4th and 2, it looks like we will get a punt, but a timeout prior to that, which is perfect because we started the broadcast late, which gives me more time to talk about what it is that you're listening to here on our Prep Insider CIF San Diego section game of the day. But before we do that, we have to pay some bills. Each and every broadcast sponsored by Mission Fed Credit Union. Mission Fed Credit Union is proud partner with the CIF San Diego section, and they're San Diego's largest member-owned, not-for-profit, full-service institution exclusively serving San Diego County. Banking at Mission Fed means doing good for San Diego by putting money back into the communities through supporting and helping hundreds of local non-profit organizations. Thank you to Mission Fed for sponsoring each and every broadcast here this year. Our inaugural season going on as a little network, but game number 15 of the last 3 weeks that we're calling, and it's really built up to this. Of course, Granite Hills has that big matchup next week against Carlsbad. Out of the timeout, it's 4th and about 1 for the Helix offense. Jesse takes the snap. It's a handoff to Washington, pushes the pile, gets the first down and some change here for the Highlanders. Of course, Helix is the predominant powerhouse here in East County. In 2019, they won 11-2, 5-0 in the Grossmont Hills League. They won the San Diego Section Open Division. They beat Carlsbad, but lost to Sierra Canyon in the D1 AA South Regional Championship thereafter. No score 9:35 and counting here, opening quarter between these two rivals. Defense back in their 4-3. Offense with a man in motion pistol. Jesse takes the snap, goes near side to Washington, who's on the down after about a 2-yard gain. A lot of action for only 2 yards. Nonetheless, it'll set up a 2nd and 8 for Helix. Big showing. These are by far the most home fans I've seen at any place, and I got the Helix coordinators to my left agreeing with me. That we're off to a good start, folks. When the coordinators agree with the broadcaster, you know that we're going to have a great evening. I will not tell them how to call plays, though. That is not my job. I'm not Tony Romo. On the snap, this one is a handoff up the middle for 2 yards on the play. I believe that was Tarling on the run. It was actually Washington, so it'll set up 3rd and about 6 here for the offense. Ball on the right hash mark. No score, 8:25 and counting opening quarter. No matter how you're listening or where you're listening, all of us here at Prep Insider and the CIF San Diego section appreciate you making us a part of your Friday evening plans. And what a gorgeous evening it is here in El Cajon, folks. I mean, golden hour to its finest. The fans are ready, so are we. 3rd and 6. Jesse getting veered out of the pocket, sets up a screen pass on the dump town, and a nice gain by Van Holten. Coming into tonight, 26 carries, 181 yards, and a touchdown. That time, though, a big reception. Goes for about 15 yards, moves the chains, and then some. Lined up now at the 31-yard line in Eagles territory. 7:45 and counting, opening quarter, no score. And Jesse, with the strong side filled up, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, all to his right. This ball is on the right hash mark, so not a lot of field here to work with, though. He has a man on the move, in motion. Jesse rolls out right, looks near sideline, and it's caught by Xavier Van. Van toes the sideline out across the 25. He'll get to the 23, maybe the 22-yard line. And it'll be just a yard shy of that first down marker. We'll call it a 9-yard reception by Xavier Van. Van, the 6'1 junior, coming into tonight, has been one of the more relied upon receivers in this offense. Though they do a great job sharing the rock. Van has 3 for 160 and 3 touchdowns so far in the season. This one is handed off to Washington, turns the corner, untouched into the end zone. Helix strikes first here at Granite Hills, 6-0 on the 22-yard run by Washington. 7:01 to go, 6-0 Helix, pending the extra point. And Washington, not the highest touted running back coming out of this program. He is a 3-star, class of 22, no offers yet from big-name programs, but the way he carries the rock, you better bet they're coming, especially with a full season in 2021, the fall, under his belt. Out to get the extra point here for Helix is Isaac Lang, 5'10", 190-pound senior kicker. Snap is through, hold is down, kick is up, and the lefty able to split the uprights and give his team a 7-0 lead. Drive went for 4 minutes and 59 seconds. Went over 70 yards. And then the 21-yard punch by Washington to put his team up as they flip sides. Let's pay some more bills. Scorebook Live is the official digital content partner of the CIF and your destination for following all of your favorite teams and players. Head to scorebooklive.com for scores, live play-by-play, and more. Special thanks to Scorebook Live for sponsoring each and every San Diego section. Prep Insider, Game of the Week broadcast. Tomorrow will be the final day of broadcasting. What a week it has been. It started in Carlsbad on Tuesday. Here at Patrick Henry on Wednesday. Del Norte last night. Here in Granite Hills tonight. And we'll cap off the week tomorrow with a great boys basketball game. Mount Miguel hosts West Hills. Tip off 11:30. I'll be live at 11:20 for that one. 2 powerhouse head coaches going at it tomorrow. Ryan Meyer, of course, having a great season for Mount Miguel in his inaugural coaching debut with them after leading La Jolla Country Day to D3 state championship. Ready to go on the kickoff. Lang boots it away. Taken by Granite, Hills out near the 10. On the left hash, out across the 20. Split a pair and out across the 30. On the return, I believe it was Joaquin Thomas. It was Joaquin. We got confirmation. Got my spotter with me up here in the broadcasting booth, Mr. Hudson. 7-0, 6:56 is where the clock stops your opening quarter. Granite Hills now begins their opening drive, and this will give us an opportunity for the first time tonight to see Justice McComb headed to Southwest Minnesota State, and flags immediately fly prior to the snap. He lined up in the pistol. McComb coming into tonight, 41 completions on 63 attempts, a beautiful 65% completion percentage, averaging a hair over 17 yards per catch. Per completion, we'll call it. 12 touchdowns to 1 interception. By the way, neutral zone infraction makes it 1st and 5 here from the 35 in Granite Hills territory. McComb on the keeper. Gets a hole, buries his way forward, lowers the shoulder, and gets enough for the first down. And for a guy who used to be a linebacker, that's the perfect play because his physical build allows him to push forward against also physical defensive linemen and backers to then move forward as much as possible. They're getting the 6 yards for the first down. 1st and 10 from the 41. 5 wide set for McComb. All 4 wide receivers to his strong side, 1 to his weak side here on the near side. And you go, I believe it was McComb keeps it, running up left. Gets to the 45, so give him a 5-yard carry on the quarterback keeper. Back-to-back keepers here for McComb. The 3-star had a plethora of offers from Division I programs, but Southwest Minnesota, Division II powerhouse, offering him a pretty sweet deal. Lines up in the pistol. 1 running back behind him. It's the RPO, has a man up across the 50 and down to the 44 after a quadrant of white jerseys. Force the whistle to be blown. We're going to get the number on the receiver here in just a moment. And it looked like Angel Almazan, the 5'11 senior. Getting 8 yards on the reception, moving the sticks once again, and Granite Hills is driving down 7-0, 5:40 to play here, opening quarter. McComb keeps it on the RPO, has a hole and buries his way up across the 35. Got a big hit by one of the linebackers, and he is yet to get up now. Adjusting his helmet, he's helped up by one of his linemen. And Stan Early, senior 6'5 captain up on that offensive line, and McComb looks to be okay after the big hit. 5:18 and counting here, opening quarter, 7-0 score. Granite Hills driving on their opener here in the first quarter. That run, by the way, was good for 8 yards. It sets up 2nd and 2. Helix opened up their first drive with a touchdown on a 21-yard run by Washington. Shotgun formation, running back to his left. McComb, 3-step drop, pocket collapsing, has a receiver near side, and it's caught for the touchdown. Almazan able to punch it in for 6. 49 yards to pay dirt. Check that. 49 was the line of scrimmage. It was 40 yards to pay dirt on the pitch and catch. So 6 points up on the board here after the 5th play of the drive, and now the extra point to tie it is good. 4:48 to go here, opening quarter, 7-7. Folks, I promise you this is going to be a fun night of football, and if those first 2 drives didn't convince you, just stick with me here on the broadcast. I guarantee it. I put my entire play-by-play reputation on this game being perhaps one of the best, if not the best up to this point in the season. Angel Almazan, 5'11 senior, goes back-to-back on receptions. Coming into the game tonight, leads the team 310 yards, 4 touchdowns, given 5 now on the season, and 14 receptions total now. He has really done a great job as a reliable receiver for McComb through the first 4 and now almost a half games. 7-7 as the Eagles getting ready to boot this one away. Back for Helix is Alejandro Von Holten, 5'11 senior, 165 pounds, but it's a squib up to the left side, taken by another white jersey out at the 30. That's Quincy Heron, and Heron turns a corner, but he's wrapped up shy of the 40-yard line. Great heads-up play by the special team for the Eagles, stifling what could be a big return for Helix, and they'll have the ball on their own 39-yard line to begin their second drive here of the opening quarter. Gives us an opportunity to thank the Chargers, fans as champions for football at all levels. The Chargers are proud to support CIF athletics. For more information about the Chargers' work throughout the Southern California community, go to chargers.com/community. Of course, 2 San Diego schools were awarded scholarships from the Chargers today. Claremont High School and Oceanside were both the 2 schools of a plethora of SoCal high schools to be part of the Chargers Foundation. All right, Jesse back out there. Shotgun formation, 4 wide receivers, and he keeps it. Tries to go through the A-gap, got some space, but that defensive line for the Eagles collapsing thereafter. 2 yards on the quarterback keeper, maybe 3. 4:30 and counting here, opening quarter, 7-7 score. Both teams scored on their opening drives. Washington had a 21-yard touchdown run for Helix. Almazan had a 40-yard touchdown catch for Granite Hills. Four minutes to go here, opening quarter. Pistol formation for Jesse. A running back in Washington, 3 wide receivers on the strong side. Washington takes the handoff, bounces left. And that's actually not Washington on the run. It was Van Holten playing both wide receiver and running back on the run. Got 4 yards, sets up 3rd and 4. I saw 5, it was 15 on the Helix jersey. So back in the pistol goes Jesse, has Washington out behind him, 3 wide receivers. To his left, a tight end / extra blocker. To his right, defense looking to blitz here. Cover 0. Hand off to Washington, and he gets stuffed in the backfield. The cover 0 works to effect here for Granite Hills. That's a loss of 2, maybe more on the run. It'll set up a 4th and long. Helix, 11-1 against Granite Hills since 2004. That one loss was in 2005. They lost 38-35. Granite Hills looking to break the decade-plus losing streak to this school tonight. What better way to do it on a short season in spring in front of a packed house here. Granite Hills, 2:36 to go for opening quarter, 7-7 score. Helix forced to punt. It's a high snap. Washington, the running back, is also the punter. It's a short punt, takes a Highlander bounce. And that's a league. So the receiver for Granite Hills, the ball bounced into his hands, and then he got hit. That is a legal hit because the ball is live once it hits the ground. If you call fair catch and let the ball bounce, and then you catch it, you have to take off, or you are allowed. You are a live receiver. And so the fans here were wondering why there wasn't a flag. That's why the ball bounced into the returner's hands, making him hittable for all intents and purposes. So switch fields here. Ball's back at the 30-yard line in Eagles territory. They'll retain possession offensively. 7-7 score, 2:22 to go here, opening quarter. And McComb, who had that 40-yard bomb to Almazan, last possession, lines up with a 5-wide set. A tight end, an extra blocker, and 4 wide receivers. I expect him to run it here, and he does. Keeper around the left side. Picks up a block, lowers the shoulder across the 40. He gets the first down and then some. 12-yard quarterback keeper for Justice McComb moves the sticks. And what a benefit to have a quarterback who has the arm that he has, but also the maneuverability and the explosiveness to be able to push linebackers out of his way for a couple of extra yards after contact. 2 minutes to go here, opening quarter, 7-7 score. 1st and 10 from the 42 for the Eagles. Combe out there, extra blocker to his right, 4 receiver set, and now he lines up in the shotgun. To his left is Hodges. Hands it off. Hodges able to push the pile up the A-gap to the 45, where he's taken down by a handful of Helix Highlanders on the defensive line. Give him 3 yards, set up a second. I guess they'll give him 4. 2nd and 6. Both these teams looking to end the season strong. Helix has Steel Canyon next week. Granite Hills has Carlsbad. That is going to be a phenomenal game. Jet sweep here. The handoff goes for maybe 2 yards for the Granite Hills offense. Ball carrier was Hodges. Good to see him out there, moving well. 3rd and 5 now for the offense. Under a minute to play, opening quarter, 7-7 score. Helix struck first, 21-yard touchdown run by Washington. Granite Hills responded. 40-yard touchdown pass from McComb to Almazan. Helix had to punt the next possession. Now Granite Hills back on the offense with a 3rd and 5. 37 seconds to go here, opening quarter and counting. Defense in a 4-3 set. McComb rolls right on the snap. Looking downfield, being chased out of the pocket, but he has a wide open receiver out across the 50. And I believe that was Almazan once again out in space. When you play against a zone defense, you have to figure out on the zone read who's open in the flat. Good read moves the chains. Sets up a 1st and 10 now into opponent territory at the 46-yard line for the Eagles offense. And it looks like they may just let the first quarter run out. There's 13 seconds to go. They'll hop off the field. And that is the end of the first quarter. What a game. 2 drives for both teams. Well, we're mid-second drive for Granite Hills. And we got a 7-7 bout here in El Cajon. Before we hit the second quarter, it gives us an opportunity to thank East Bay. East Bay is the official athletic retail partner for the CIF and home to all your game day needs with a wide selection of high-performance athletic apparel and shoes. East Bay will make sure you're ready to dominate the day. Head to eastbay.com today to find your fit. So we're looking at 2 separate styles of offensive play. Helix is looking to ground and pound, open up the passing game. Granite Hills, I mean, they're running the RPO. They're letting McComb out in space. They get a running back out there. If he has an opportunity to take it himself or they find a receiver, that was the 3rd down play on the 3rd and 5, 2 plays ago for Granite Hills. It was a simple RPO. You run Thomas out behind McComb. They run the play action. If the defense collapses, you got a wide receiver out in zone, and it was a great read by Justice McComb to move the chain. So the field flips here. Nonetheless, 12 minutes up on the clock. Second quarter about to get underway here from Granite Hills. McComb back out there in the shotgun. 1 running back to his right, 3 wide receivers, and an extra blocker who is an eligible receiver. Could be a tight end situation. Jet sweep here. No, McComb keeps on the option. Up across the 40, taken down at the 39-yard line. They're saying he dropped at the 40, though, prior to moving up. So give him a 6-yard quarterback keeper on the option. 2nd and 4 in opponent territory here for the Eagles offense. Sun beginning to set now over the hills. The floodlights illuminating the field before us. Packed house here on the near side. Helix fans showed up pretty well on the far side as well. And of course, we have our wonderful listeners listening at home. Appreciate you all making us a part of your Friday night. 11-17 and counting here, second quarter, 7-7 score. 2nd and 4 from the 40-yard line in opponent territory. Shotgun formation for McComb. And they are setting him up for the RPO basically every time. Man in motion. This time he hands it off. And maybe 2 yards on the gain. Hodges on the carry. Oh, excuse me. That was actually Joaquin Thomas. Thank you for the correction. That's why we got spotters, folks. Forgot my glasses at home, apparently. So man in motion keeps the defense off balance. Sets up a 3rd and 3 after the 1-yard gain on the jet sweep. Was an option turned into a jet sweep. Ball in the right hash mark. Shotgun formation, 3 receivers, an extra blocker, and a running back for Macomb. He sends Hodges out wide, 5 wide now, and it's a keeper on 3rd and 3. Macomb tries pushing the pile. He is about a yard, maybe 2 short of the line to gain. It'll set up a 4th and 2. And this might be 4-down territory. You got a guy who runs the RPO incredibly well, knows his zone reads defensively, and I think that's what Coach Kellen Cobb, the veteran, is in his 9th season under helm here at Granite Hills, has in mind. Pistol formation, extra blocker, 2 wide receivers. 4th and 2. Under 10 minutes to play here, second quarter tie game, 7-7. Macomb looking near sideline, awaiting the orders from his coordinating staff. Of course, this team last season went 5-6, 4-0 this season. What a tale of 2 seasons, especially here in the spring of 2021. Wide receiver on the move, on the option, it's a handoff. There's a hole in the right side. That's a first down for Granite Hills and then some. That's Hodges on the carry. Turned the corner, found some space, turned on the Jets, and moved the chains here for the Eagles. They're now at the 28-yard line after an 11-yard carry. 1st and 10, deep in opponent territory. 9 minutes to play here, second quarter, tie ball game, 7-7. Both teams with 2 possessions, though Eagles still driving here offensively. Ball in the right hash, 3 receivers in the shotgun. Macomb fakes left, looks right, has a receiver open, it's caught for 12 yards on the out route. Joshua Zander, the freshman, gets his first catch here tonight. Had 6 for 45 and 2 touchdowns coming into the game, so give him 7 for 57 now on the season. Just a freshman, will develop quite well under Coach Cobb in this program. Moves the sticks now. Ball at the 15-yard line, 1st and 10. 8:54 to go. 7-7 score. 5 wide set for Macomb. You got to think he's running to the right. Extra blocker, and he is. Hole opens up. Macomb barrels forward out across the 10, and he's taken down at the 8-yard line. Seven-yard run for Macomb. Should set up a 2nd and 3, maybe give him 8, a 2nd and 2. 8-yard run for Justice Macomb, the 3-star headed to Southwest Minnesota State in the fall. 7-7 score, 8:20 to go here, opening quarter. Granite Hills driving. This drive has lasted over 6 minutes now. They are in no rush to get that Helix offense back on the field. Shotgun formation. 3 receivers, an extra blocker, and a tight end. This is a handoff up the middle into the pile. And it'll be enough for the first down. It'll set up a 1st and goal situation from the 5. First and goal from the 5 for the Eagles offensively. Tie ball game, 7-7 here. 7:50 and counting, second quarter. Here the cheerleaders keeping the fans interested. If the football is doing enough, this is a handoff around the left side, but that Helix defensive line was ready. And the Eagles are stuffed for a loss of 2 on the play. Joaquin Thomas, alternating carries in the backfield, is struck with that loss. He's had a few positive runs here tonight. 2nd and goal. Ball back at the, looks close to the 8-yard line, maybe the 7 for this Eagles offense. Taking their time, setting things up here, 6:50 to go. This drive has lasted close to 8 minutes after forcing the Helix punt. 7-7 ball game. Ball just shy of that left hash. Macomb on the keeper. Runs right. Helix is ready. They're shielding him, but he turns the corner at the 10 before he gets absolutely pummeled. And I believe he got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe even lost a yard. Might set up 3rd and goal from the 8 now. He did lose a yard. McComb a little slow to get up, whistles blow. And that's the catch-22 of having a quarterback that you trust in the RPO, is that when he chooses to keep it and he takes big hits, there's a liability attached with that. So timeout on the field. 6:21 is where the clock stops. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 8 for the Granite Hills Eagles offense in a tie ball game. 21-yard touchdown run from Washington for Helix opened up the scoring. A 40-yard touchdown catch from Almazan answered for Granite Hills. Helix had to punt their next drive after stout defense by the Eagles, and now the Eagles are at a 3rd and goal situation, but what was once 1st and goal from the 5 is now 3rd and goal from the 8. And McComb looks to be okay. So does Helix's Michael Boone, who is down, the 5'10 senior defensive back, able to hop off the field under his own power, which is always a good thing to see. All right, so back to the action. Both teams striding back onto the field. 3rd and goal from the 8. Defense showing a 4-3 set, though I assume they may bring, actually they're showing a 3-4 with an extra linebacker out there. I assume they're going to try and bring him up to stop the keeper. 3rd and 8, goal from the 8. The throw left from McComb, and it's intercepted into the end zone. The official called touchdown. I think he meant touchback, and Helix able to stop Granite Hills, a goal line stand. And an interception in the end zone, give the Highlanders back the football. So from 1st and goal from the 5 to 3rd and goal from the 8 to an interception. And McComb, just his 2nd interception this season. He's now thrown 13 touchdowns to just his 1 lone interception. 6:06 remaining here, opening quarter. Opening half, 2nd quarter. 7-7 score. And Helix will regain possession offensively from the 20-yard line after the pick turned into touchback. For this Helix defense, that's their 6th pick this season. 2-2 coming into tonight. Back on offense comes Jesse, the freshman quarterback. Rylan Jesse, 6'3", 195 pounds, tosses it to Washington, out to his left. Washington has to backpedal as a pair of blue jerseys force him back. But he was able, with forward progress, to get a yard out of the run. Sets up 2nd and 10. Maybe give him 2 yards. 2nd and 8 on the toss. A toss is really tough when a defense is showing spread, because essentially what happens is that on the spread, the flats are covered by the defensive backs. And so right there, Washington was able to turn the corner. Didn't have much space, but was able to salvage something out of nothing. 2nd and 9, 5:30 and counting here, 2nd quarter. 7-7 ball game. Defense has 4 up front and a timeout taken by Helix. 5:25 to go, 7-7 score. Gives us an opportunity to thank one of our sponsors, the Kukolski Brothers. Get your official CIF San Diego section championship gear from the Kukolski Brothers at all of this year's championship events. Shirts, sweatshirts, and much more are available. Also want to extend a big thank you to Aventis Health. Aventis Health congratulates all CIF student athletes, their schools, and supporting communities for their achievements. Your strength inspires us to do more than practice medicine. You inspire us to transform lives. Aventis Health, the official healthcare partner of the CIF Together, inspired. And of course, a year like no other. We definitely appreciate the healthcare workers on the front lines, putting their lives on hold to make sure that all of us can have a semblance of normalcy in ours. Of course, for these students, being on the football field, being on the basketball court, being on the softball and baseball diamond, being on the soccer pitch, whatever it is, would not have been possible without the incredible work of our healthcare providers. All right, 5:25 to go out of the timeout. 2nd quarter, 7-7 score. Jesse in the pistol has Washington behind him, and he gives it to Washington, who bounces left, turns right out across the 25, taken down at the 27-yard line. 5 yards on the run. That's up 3rd and 3 now. 3rd and 4 for the offense in Helix. Henderson has been fed as the featured running back tonight. coming into the game, he had 103 carries for 493 yards. He's averaging 123 yards per game. And he is perhaps on pace here, even in the first half, to be touching that total. 4:45 to go, second quarter. It's third and 4 rather. Pistol formation, wide receiver in motion. Handoff to Washington again from Jesse, but the defensive line was ready, and they stifle him after a gain of 1 on the play. Interesting call to run out of the pistol on 3rd and 4. The defensive line for Granite Hills was ready. It sets up a 4th and 2. Clock continuing to teeter now, under 4:20 to play here, second quarter. And it looks like Helix will punt this one away, ball in their own territory, the 28-yard line. The junior varsity game earlier tonight was a battle for the ages. Helix came back down 21 points, took a lead, and then a last-minute drive for Granite Hills put them up. Helix had one more opportunity but couldn't get it done. They lost 35-28 in that one. 3:45 to go. Helix ready to punt back near the 15. The boot is up. It's Washington. Fair catch is called at the 40. And great field position for the Eagles offensively. And how about that? It was a first and goal situation, turned interception, but the defense for Granite Hills comes right back out, gets a stop, and an opportunity for their offense to score once again prior to the half. Now, Granite Hills does get the football back after the half, which makes this drive imperative. You want to work the clock in your 4-minute offense, but you don't want to give Helix the football back with enough time to make enough moves to perhaps contest you and score. So 7-7 ball game, 3:37 to go here in the second quarter. Empty set here for Macomb. Defense showing blitz. In a man formation, here it comes. Macomb steps up, has some space to his right, has a receiver open, and it's caught out across the 40. Taken down to the 30-yard line. A 30-yard pitch and catch right there. And Granite Hills continuing to persist in Helix territory here. Ball in the right hash, 1st and 10. What a play. Defense showed cover 0 blitz. And Macomb able to step up in the pocket, show some poise, and find a receiver out in space. He's in the pistol now. It's a handoff. And it's going to go for about 4 yards here after Helix able to get on top of it. Hodges on the carry, Hodges and Joaquin Thomas splitting carries so far in this one, both with a unique skill set that really complements the play of Justice Macomb in the option. 2nd and 6 after the 4-yard run. 2:40 to play here in the second quarter. The snap, guy open to the left, but it's incomplete. Out in coverage was Alejandro Van Olten. Angel Almazan was the intended receiver, but I think it was just a miscommunication. Macomb looked left. He actually hesitated for a second and just threw a bomb out towards the post. Nobody was there. 3rd and 6, 2:36 to go here in the second quarter in a tie ball game. Defense showing cover 2 man, 2 defensive backs in the secondary, 3 linebackers, 4 defensive tackle. And an empty set here for Macomb, trying to wear this defense thin. Looks up the middle, has a receiver, and it's caught. The big man bounces off a tackler and into the end zone. Zach Burton finds himself into the end zone. 13-7. Granite Hills leads, pending the extra point. And for Burton, just his 2nd reception on the season and his first touchdown. And folks, in the second half, I'm going to tell you why that's actually a really big deal here for Granite Hills. Extra point is up, and it's through. 14-7. Granite Hills drives 70 yards in 2.5 minutes to find Pater. But Helix has plenty of time on offense to try and score this rock before we hit the half. Now, Granite Hills does get the football back after the half. Folks, remember to download the CIF Sports 365 mobile app for Apple and Android to connect with all of your favorite teams with access to schedules, rosters, scores, statistics, and more. Never miss a moment with CIF Sports 365. Of course, you can listen to our broadcasts on the CIF Sports 365 app if you're on the road. If you want a different way of listening to us that may not necessarily be YouTube or a different player. Regardless of how you're listening, we appreciate it. 14-7, 2:29 to go here. Second quarter, Granite Hills is up, punting the football, or kicking the football away, rather. Christian Washington, along with two other white jerseys in Helix. I believe Xavier Van is to his left, back to receive this one, but we've seen a couple of squibs from the Granite Hills special teams. This one, a squib up the middle, taken out across the 30. This is Quincy Herron, turning the corner across the 40 and finally taken out past the 45 to the 48-yard line is where they're calling it, maybe the 47. So the squib kick is returned well here for Helix. They have good field position with 2:22 to go here in the second quarter. Senior night festivities getting set up for halftime as it'll be the final home game for Granite Hills. Honor all of their fantastic seniors here. Might have an extended halftime. I'll keep you posted on the timing of that once I know. 2:22 remaining. Helix offense back out there. Rylan, Jesse, and company out in the pistol. Left hash mark. Ball spotted at the 46 is where the official spot is. 1st and 10 in their own territory. And it's an option here. Washington takes it, turns the corner up the middle, has some space, stutter steps to the left, out across the 30 to the 20, spins, tiptoes the sideline, stays on his feet to the 20, and that's where he's finally taken out inside the 10. What an insane run. It was basically a flea flicker if he wanted it. Washington looked to pass, there was a hole open, he just took off. Went from the center of the field to the left sideline, tiptoed his way. That kid took tap dancing classes, and that's how you know right there. When you could stay in bounds with 4 blue jerseys coming at you. The big run sets up a 1st and goal from the 9 for the Helix offense. And that's what I was saying, folks. You do not want to give the Highlanders any time in this half. 2:07 remaining and a 1st and goal situation. Pistol formation for Jesse. 2 tight end, 2 receivers, and a running back. Hands it off. And Van Holten able to take it up to the 6-yard line. Give him 4 yards on the run. 2nd and goal from the 6 now for the Highlander offense. Down 14-7 here, under 1:45 to play in the second quarter. Helix looking to get back above 500. Granite Hills looking to stay perfect. But Helix has won every matchup since 2005 between these two schools. They're 11-1 since 2004. Flex pistol formation, an extra blocker to the left of Jesse. Screen pass to the left, it's caught, but great defense. Stifling anything after the catch. Jalen Hall, the receiver. Juan Carlson Abarca playing some stout defense right there. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 5. Oh, it's 33. Matt Keeley, excuse me. Thank you for the correction on the defense. Under 50 seconds to go here in the second quarter. 3rd and goal from the 5, 14-7. Helix looking to tie this thing up. And they will call a timeout. Clock stops at 42 seconds. At the timeout, both teams discussing the defensive and offensive tactics here, and we can thank E-Team Sponsor, the CIF official crowdfunding partner. E-Team Sponsor provides schools with an innovative fundraising platform to engage your entire community via many modes of communication through social media and email. Help support any and all of your programs at your school. So basically, this has been quite an affair here in the first half, folks. Both teams opened up their first offensive drives with the game scoring. Helix with a rushing touchdown. Granite Hills with a passing touchdown. Granite Hills was able to force a punt. They threw a pick in the end zone. Helix had to punt again after that. Granite Hills was able to score, but Helix, after a long run by Washington, is set up at 3rd and goal from the 5 with 42 seconds to go, as we are now out of the timeout. Defense already set. They're showing 3 up front, 4 linebackers, and man coverage on the corners. Offense comes out. I believe that's Washington under center. So they have Washington under center. Christian and James Johnson lined up behind him. No, there's Jesse. Hands it off. From left to right, bounces Johnson, and he's into the end zone. Highlander touchdown. The 5'10 junior, James Johnson, able to punch it in on the 5-yard carry. And the Highlanders are an extra point away from tying this thing up with 35 seconds to go in the second quarter. First rushing touchdown of the season for James Johnson. Kick is up, and it's through. 14-14, 35.2 to go here in the second quarter. Granite Hills does get the football back post-halftime. We'll see if they maybe take a shot, maybe they kneel it. Head coach Kellen Cobbs has been doing this for quite some time. 9th season, he has never beaten Helix, but he's only finished under 500 twice in his coaching career here with Granite Hills. In 2012 when he took over, and back in 2019 when they went 5-6, 1-4 in the Grossmont Hills League. Of course, Coach Cobbs began his coaching career here back in 2006. He coached the JV team, eventually moved his way up. Worked under head coach Chuck Long as the offensive assistant before taking over the helm in 2012, but a longtime football player at San Diego State. Woo! All right, Helix ready to boot this one away. 14-14 game, second quarter, 35 seconds to go in the half. Isaiah Lang, the kicker out there, sets up the ball in the right hash, and the southpaw kicker boots this one away. Some backspin as it's taken into the end zone. They're saying it's a live ball, though, because it bounced prior, and a great special teams defensive effort stifles the Eagles back near the 10-yard line. So with 27 seconds to go, I as a coach, now remember, this is if I were coaching, and I'm obviously not a coach because I'm here calling the game for you, and there's a reason I'm not a coach, but I would kneel this one and just go to half. Because at the end of the day, it's 14-14. You get the football back. Momentum is still on your side if you're Granite Hills here. Now, if you're Helix and they're going for it, no more cover zeros. Just let McComb run the option, throw your defensive backs into the secondary, and force the issue in preventative defense. All right, the offense back out there. They may just run it. There's 2. Nope, it's a kneel. Okay, so there maybe I should be coaching because I called the play out perfectly. So at the end of 2, it was 7-7 going into the second quarter. It's 14-14 at halftime. What an incredible game, folks. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We're going to step aside for the 12-minute halftime break. When we come back, the second half of action, you're listening to the CIF San Diego Section Prep Insider Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Jonathan Rifkin with you. What a game it's been. Senior night festivities will ensue here at halftime. I'll be back in 12 to 15 minutes to get you ready for the second half of action. At the half, 14-14. We are all knotted up between Granite Hills and Helix. Halftime concluding here at Granite Hills. Welcome back, everybody. Jonathan Rifkin with you. They just announced the senior court in front of a packed house here at Eagles Stadium and Granite Hills Field. But we're knotted up, 14-14, with about 3 minutes to go until the second half. I want to recap the first half with you before we hit our last break and send you off to the second half. The game was opened up by a 21-yard touchdown run, courtesy of Christian Washington. The junior running back for Helix, a 3-star, does not have any real big offers yet, but I tell you folks, that guy, he's going to over the course of the spring and then into the fall next year. But Granite Hills was able to respond, being down 7-0, about 7 minutes to go in the first quarter, with a 40-yard touchdown catch by Angel Almazan. Helix then had the punt on their next possession, but they were able to pick off Granite Hills in the end zone thereafter. Granite Hills, though, forced a punt, came back to score, and then Helix, with about 35 seconds left in that second quarter, was able to score once again, courtesy of Mr. Washington. So that's how we are. That's how we've gotten to where we are here at the half. It's 14-14, and the second half is about 2 minutes away. I'll step aside for the final break of the evening. Yes, I promise you folks, you will not hear silence. You will hear my booming voice, or however you want to describe it, whatever adjective fits it, in about 2 minutes for the rest of this game. Back in 2 minutes, you're listening to the CIF San Diego section, San Diego Prep Insider Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. 2 minutes to go in the half. Back for the second half in a moment. 14-14. The score is tied between Granite Hills and Helix. Ten straight losses for Granite Hills coming into tonight against Helix. They haven't won a matchup on the football field against the Highlanders since a game-winning field goal back on November 4th, 2005, 16 seasons ago. 17 actual calendar football seasons since these Granite Hills, the Eagles, have beaten the Highlanders, tied 14-14 here. What better way to snap it than in the 2021 spring football season with the lights on, the crowds packed in, and the game of the week on the air. Second half ready to go here. Jonathan Rifkin with you for the play-by-play. No matter how you're listening or where you're listening, all of us here at the Prep Insider and CIF San Diego section appreciate you making us a part of your Friday evening plans. Helix to boot this one away to begin the second half. Granite deferred on the opening toss. 12 minutes up on the clock. Third quarter is set, and we are ready to go. All knotted up at 14 in El Cajon. Laying with the boot. It's taken out near the 2. And on the return comes Hodges from left to right, out across the 20. Picks up a block and is taken down prior to the 30 to the 28-yard line. First and 10. They're going to call him down actually at the 29 due to forward progress. A nice 29-yard return opens up the opening drive here in the second half for the Eagles in good field position. Score, 14-14. And a big opportunity for Granite Hills to regain the lead. Helix led up 7-0 in the opener, but since then it's been all Eagles. On the handoff, McComb takes the snap, hands it off. And trudging forward out across the 35 to the 36 was Hodges. Jaquel Hodges, 5'9" junior, has a torn meniscus, but he's able to play through. He's scheduled for surgery in the offseason. Has had an effective running evening so far. 11:25 to go, second half, third quarter. Opening drive for the Eagles. 2nd and 5 from the 35. Empty set here for McComb. Now he has a man in motion. That's Hodges from right to left. 3 wide receivers to his left. Extra blocker, McComb. Looks up the field, has an open receiver. That's Joaquin Thomas. Out across the 45, taken down at the 50. And that's a 15-yard pitch and catch. Granite Hills continues to move the chains forward here. A minute into the third quarter. 14-14 score. And that's been, ever since the 40-yard pitch and catch to Almazan, Granite Hills has been more meticulous with their offense, looking to pick up yardage in smaller chunks rather than go for the big boom plays against Helix. Because, again, the longer you can keep the Helix defense out there and keep the offense off the field, the better. McComb, 5 wide set, has a man downfield. The throw is long, but it's incomplete. Pass was intended for Almazan. Good coverage by a pair of Helix Highlander defenders. Ball fell harmlessly in no man's land. 2nd and 10 from the 50-yard line. 14-14 score, remains a minute and a half here into the third. Granite Hills on your radio dial for old school purposes, going from left to right. Lined up in the shotgun, McComb. Running back to his right, 3 wide receivers and a tight end. Takes the snap, he's going to keep it. Run left after picking up a good block and trudges forward out across the 45 to the 46. 6-yard run there on the keeper. So it's up 2nd and 4. McComb has done a great job establishing the run-pass option as a high school quarterback. It's not easy to learn zone reads for a guy headed to a Division II school that's trying to make a name for itself on the football field. He's going to have all of the tools as a flag is thrown prior to the snap. It looks like an infraction on the Helix defense. So with 3rd and 4, if it's a neutral zone infraction, which it was, it'll be first down now for the Eagles. Ball will be placed up at the 39-yard line after the 5-yard penalty. Under 10 minutes to go here, 9:58 to be exact is where the clock stops after the penalty. And that penalty should move the chains. The officials are telling the chain gang, let's go. Let's get a move on. These guys are set and ready to go. 1st and 10, cover 3 defense. 4 up front, 3 in the back. McComb looks to pass on the step. Big hit out of the hands of Burton. Great defense right there from the Highlanders. And Felix Barraza, the 5'11", 200-pound junior, able to knock the ball free and force a 2nd and 10 from the 40. And Zach Burton, of course, one of the 3 Burton brothers to go through the program here. His brother plays over at Baylor, but he is eligible to play in the NFL. They were thinking he might get drafted, and of course, William Burton, the middle brother, passed away tragically in an auto accident. They started a scholarship. We'll talk about that more here as the night rolls on. McComb rolls out right, has Almazan. He's caught in traffic out across the 30 to the 27-yard line. What a play. Almazan in man-on-man coverage. He was covered tightly by Alondro Van Holten, but a little back shoulder catch. Move to the chains here. And McComb, great read. Almazan with great hands. It'll be 1st and 10. Ball at the 27-yard line for the Eagles offense. 14-14. Score remains. 9.5 to play here. Third quarter, rather. Second half. 5 wide. McComb looks left. Has a man wide open downfield. End zone touchdown. Joaquin Thomas, the sophomore, punching it in on the 27-yard seam route. He was untouched all the way to the end zone. 2014, Granite Hills leads here, pending the extra point. Great find. There were 4 wide receivers set up on the weak side of McComb. One was left unguarded. That was Thomas on the seam route up the middle. And that's how you beat a cover zone. You just run up the middle. I do it in Madden every day. Flags are thrown prior to the extra point snap. Some yellow laundry on the field. Mr. Hodges was calling the JV game, and he actually had a great term that he used. Give it to me here. Mustard on the green. Is that what it was? Mustard on the lettuce. Artificial lettuce in this case, but we'll take it. I love it. 2014, and now the extra point. Ready to go. Snap is down, hold is down after the snap, kick is through. 21-14, Granite Hills able to punch it in here on a Joaquin Thomas 27-yard touchdown reception. 9:23 to go here, third quarter. Gives us an opportunity to thank Mission Fed Credit Union, a proud partner of the CIF San Diego section. Mission Fed Credit Union is also San Diego's largest member-owned, non-for-profit, full-service financial institution exclusively serving the San Diego community. Banking at Mission Fed means doing good for San Diego by putting money back into the communities through supporting and helping hundreds of local nonprofit organizations. Thank you to Mission Fed Credit Union for sponsoring each and every broadcast. 21-14. Granite Hills leads. Helix looking for their first possession of the second half. A great drive for the Eagles, and now Helix itching to get it back. They ended the first half on a touchdown with 35 seconds to go to tie it at 14. We were tied 7-7 going into the second. We were tied 14-14, and an onside kick, but an illegal touching, should be called on Granite Hills. It is. So it was kicked out about 3 yards in front of the Eagles' special teams. And remember, you can't touch that football until it passes the 10-yard out. Now in high school, I believe the penalty forces a re-kick. In college and at the professional level, the ball is taken at the spot of the touch. So it would have been in Eagles territory. So instead, the ball is back at the 35-yard line where it will be re-kicked by the Granite Hills special teams. I like the decision to go for the onside, but it takes quite a specialist at the high school level to really execute it. Ready to go on the kickoff at the squib up right, fumbled, but recovered by Helix out across the 40. in their own territory to the 43 is where the ball is down. So regardless, good starting field position for the Highlanders, down by 7, 9:22 to go here, third quarter.
Kickoff return for no gain. First down, Helix.
Hey, guys! Woo! Are you ready to stand up?
They're trying to get the fans on this. They said, "Are you ready to stand up?" And the majority of fans said, "No, we're not. We're happy comfortably sitting in our stands." Now they're all looking at me thinking I'm the one telling them to stand up. Jesse takes the snap. It's a handoff to Washington for Helix. Up the middle on the right hash. She's able to chug forward for a handful of yards. Out across the 45, down at the 47-yard line. Should set up about a 2nd and 5 here. 2nd and 5. For the offense, Fogg continuing to set in here as we hit the 9-minute mark of the third quarter. 21-14, Granite Hills leads Helix football second. And a few. Pistol formation, 3 receivers. It's a handoff to Washington, finds a hole, bouncing left, turns, and he's able to get the first down out across midfield, down at the 46-yard line. Another first down here for the 3-star running back, who is now over 100 yards on the game, giving him his 5th consecutive game over 100 yards. He's averaging 123 yards per game. Christian Washington, an absolute workhorse here tonight against the front 7 in Granite Hills. 8:20 to go, third quarter, 21-14. And the freshman who didn't start the season for this team, Tarling, the junior. Cameron Tarling was initially the starter, but they liked the arm and the play style of Jesse better, so that's who they've stuck with here with Helix through the 2021 spring campaign. Shotgun formation. Washington goes from right to left now in the slot receiver spot. And whistles are blown as we will get a timeout for Helix. Alejandro Van Olten, by the way, was in at running back on that drive. Well, during the timeout, I want to share a story and perhaps implore all of you to donate, do some good faith donating here. Back in 2017, William Burton, who was a fantastic football player here, one of the star linemen and budding for Granite Hills, and the brother of Zach Burton, who's currently playing for the program, has his first touchdown of the season here tonight. He actually passed away in a car accident on the way home from the team's postseason banquet. In his memory, this year, his brothers his parents, Brad and Donna, along with his brothers Jake and Zach. Jake, of course, a lineman over at Baylor, started at UCLA. He'll head to the NFL next year. They started the William Burton Spirit of the Eagle Scholarship Foundation. And as we get back to play, I'll explain how you can be a part of that in a moment. 21-14, 55 to go here, third quarter. Jesse rolls out left off the snap. It's a pitch, but he pitched it to Washington out of bounds. And I believe that's actually a loss on the play out near the 50. It was 1st and 10. Ball was at the 46-yard line. Now it's back to the 50. So it's a 5-yard loss on the pitch out of bounds. That's up 2nd and 15 here for the offense. But this foundation is fantastic. And I implore all of you to donate. You can go to WilliamBurtonSpiritOfTheEagle.com to be able to donate the scholarship fund, which was created in conjunction with the Grossmont Union High School District. And it's awarded annually to a Granite Hills senior who has demonstrated the courage to take risks, stand up for their beliefs, and exhibit individuality. A silver lining that comes out of just a tragic situation. 2nd and 14. Jesse rolls out right, looking for a receiver. Everybody's covered. Jesse's going to take off, and he's able to get back to the original line of scrimmage and set up a 3rd and 10 on the Eagles' 46-yard line. 7:30 and counting here, third quarter, 21-14. Granite Hills up over Helix. Touchdown by Almazan opened up the scoring for Granite Hills. Here we get Joaquin Thomas and Zach Burton out in space for their other two. Christian Washington has scored the 2 rushing touchdowns for Helix here tonight. 7 minutes to go, third quarter. Shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers at tight end, and Washington to Jesse's left. He has a man on the move, 3-step drop. Pocket collapses, the screen pass taken by Van Holten out across the 30, rather the 40 to the 35, where he's taken down at the 34. Give him 12 yards on the screen pass, and Van Holten able to move the sticks here, set up a 1st and 10, 6:53 and counting here in the third quarter. Hope everybody's enjoying their Friday evening, no matter how you're listening or where you're listening. All of us here at the San Diego section and San Diego Prep Insider appreciate you making us a part of your Friday evening plans. Game of the year so far, the Eagles taking on the Islanders. Islanders down, but with the football. 6:35 and counting. Pistol formation. Washington takes the handoff, bounces off the line, finds some space out left, picks up a block out across the 25, and he's taken down thereafter. On the tackle goes Matt Keeley. He's done a great job as a defensive back all evening long. There on the running back spy. Nonetheless, the rush goes for 8 yards, sets up a 2nd and 2. Ball spotted at the 27-yard line. Helix at 2-2. Granite Hills at 4-0. Granite Hills has not beaten Helix since 2005. The Highlanders are 11-1 since 2004 in the series matchup between these two schools. 2nd and 2 in the pistol. Play action. Jesse looks left. Has the receiver, but it's intercepted for Granite Hills. Mike Keeley able to get his feet down inside the 5 and pick this one off for the Eagles. Matt Keeley with a big tackle on the prior snap, and on that one comes up with a massive interception. 21-14, 5:33 to go here, third quarter, and the momentum back in the side of Granite Hills. Ball spotted inside the 5 at the 4-yard line, so expect to cover 0 here for Helix. Trying to force the issue against McComb in the offense. 5 wide set, expect McComb to keep it here and try to move himself forward. Now he calls for a running back. And it's a handoff, a hole opens up. And Hodges able to take it up to the 10-yard line. A 6-yard run sets up 2nd and 4. 21-14, 5:15 to go, third quarter. Granite Hills in possession of both the lead and the football. 2nd and 4 from the 11 in their own territory. McComb, shotgun formation, has a receiver in motion. Hands it off. That's Almazan. Gets a big block out across the 15 to the 20. Taken down at the 24. Big gain there for Angel Almazan on the jet sweep, and some good blocking up front by the receivers to open it up. And that moves the sticks here for a 1st down for the Eagles offense. Angel Almazan has been multifaceted here tonight. Speedy wide receiver right there, though, moving the sticks as a running back. And now in front of us, it looks like Granite Hills and Helix's cheerleaders will put on a show together. The handoff here goes up across the 30. And McVeigh gets his first carry tonight for the Eagles offense. Give him 7 yards. Sets up 2nd and 3. 4:12 and counting. 21-14, third quarter. Helix trailing Granite Hills. Eagles with the football and the lead. 2nd and 3. Shotgun formation. Wide receiver. 2 wide receivers to his right, an extra blocker, and a running back. McComb looks right, has a receiver, and Almazan almost able to get a hand on it, but a great job in coverage was Michael Boone, the 5'10 senior defensive back for Helix, denying him the football and setting up a 3rd and 2. Not easy in man defense to turn your the shoulder away from the wide receiver and make a play on the football. But Boone able to do just that, perfectly executed. 3rd and 3, under 4 to play here, third quarter, 21-14 score remains. And the atmosphere remains electric. Here at Granite Hills, McCombs is going to keep it out of the snap, runs right, finds a pocket out across the 35. He's down at the 36. The 5-yard run, able to move the sticks and give the Eagles another first down. So minus that 40-yard touchdown catch by Almazan back in the first quarter, the Eagles have done a great job opening up this game, keeping the pace of play pretty consistent because they're picking up yards in chunks. You don't need to get big yardage gains. What you're looking for here is to keep the offense for Helix off the field, tire out that defense, and with a dynamic RPO game that McComb can run out of the quarterback position, that's exactly what they're executing here in Granite Hills. 3:20 to go, third quarter. Option, McComb keeps, runs right, shakes a defender, and then a pair of Helix Highlanders able to stifle him shy of the 40-yard line, give him a gain of 3 on the keeper. Michael Boone pairs up with Xavier Lokey on the tackle. Second and 7. Granite Hills offense. McComb out there in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers and an extra blocker and slash tight end in Burton. High snap. McComb gathers, looks left, has a receiver, but it's incomplete. Screen pass on the comebacker is dropped. And that'll set up a 3rd and 7. Joaquin Thomas, the intended receiver right there. 21-14 score remains. Clock stops at 2:34 to go here in the third. Granite Hills has a 3rd and 7. Shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers are running back to the left of McComb. 3-step drop on the snap. Looks deep downfield, has a receiver, and it's caught by Matt Keeley all the way down to the 10. This guy is dynamic. He set up this entire drive with an interception on defense, and now he gets his team on a 1st and goal from the 10 on the offense. Matt Keeley, have a night. A big gain. Matt Keeley out in space on the right baseline. And with 2:20 to go here in the third quarter, Granite Hills has another and goal opportunity, up 21-14 over Helix, looking for their first win against this program since 2005. McComb in the shotgun, has an extra blocker, a tight end, 2 wide receivers. This is a handoff. It goes to Thomas, turns the corner, and he's taken down at the 4-yard line. 6-yard run for Joaquin Thomas. 2nd and goal from the 4. And the defensive line shifting, the big guns now up front for Helix. They do not want to give an inch up front to the Granite Hills running game. Clock continuing to trickle down, 1:35 to go here. Third quarter, 21-14, and Granite Hills, well, I would say came into tonight as an underdog, showing that they belong with the biggest and the baddest in the section so far. McComb on the keeper, he's in the end zone, touchdown Eagles. Justice McComb decides to do it himself. That's his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. And pending the extra point, it's 27-14 Eagles. Hold is down, kick is up, and it's through. 28-14. Granite Hills leads. Matt Keeley is the player of the half so far. A big tackle, a big interception, and a big wide receiving reception on his own end. Sets his team up for the eventual touchdown. 1:21 to play here, third quarter. 28-14. Granite Hills has their largest lead against Helix since 2005. Granite Hills ready to boot this one away. Sean Simpson, junior wide receiver, also kicking duties. And we'll see if they squib it once again. It's mostly been taken at the 40-yard line for Helix. And it is another squib here on the near side. Jerry Riggs takes it, and they lateral it back. That was a poor decision because it goes for a loss of 10 after the lateral. Instead of the ball being at the 40, it's now at the 30. You lateraled it back to Xavier Van, who is a more dynamic runner, and Austin Holt doing a great job on the stop, the junior defensive back, also playing special teams. $1:13 to play here in the third quarter, 28-14. It's a 2-touchdown lead for Granite Hills. They're on a 14-0 scoring run. They've held Helix to one drive this entire third quarter, and it ended with a red zone interception courtesy of Matt Keeley. Now the offense jogging back out there in their gray and white uniforms. Down by 14 with 1:13 to go here in the third quarter. Wing flex offense now. 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, an extra blocker for the freshman, Jesse. Hands it off. And Van Holten chugs forward out across the 36 down to the 37. 5-yard run sets up 2nd and 5, under a minute to play third quarter. Wing T offense back out there. 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and an extra blocker who is eligible as a tight end in the form of Manuelito Poderoso. This time, though, it's a handoff. Van Holten takes it, bouncing from right to left, lowers the shoulder, out across the 45. He got the first down and some change. Got 7 yards, taken down at the 46-yard line. 28-14 score remains. Clock stops at 29.9 seconds to go for them to move the chains, and now it continues to trickle down here in the third quarter. What a football game, folks. Pistol formation, 3 wide receivers on the strong side here for Jesse. Washington out behind him. Now he has a man in motion. That's Xavier Van. Jesse rolls right. 3-step drop. No. Going to pull it back, and now he fires it to Van near the line of scrimmage, but he only gets that much back to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 46-yard line to begin the fourth quarter for the Helix offense. They trail 28-14 after giving up 2 straight touchdowns. We're going to step aside for a quick break. Fourth quarter upon us. You're listening to the CIF San Diego section, San Diego Prep Insider football game of the week. 28-14, Granite Hills up over Helix. Helix back for the fourth quarter in a moment. Fourth quarter, ready to go, and Helix has some ground to make up. They're down 28-14. Welcome back to Granite Hills High School, everybody. Jonathan Rifkind on the play-by-play with you. What a game it's been. It was 7-7 after the first, 14-14 at half. Granite Hills able to make a bit of a run, courtesy of Justice McComb touchdown run, and Joaquin Thomas touchdown run as well. Has them up 28-14, 12 minutes up on the clock. Helix football, though, On 2nd and 10, field flips. They're going from left to right. They're on their own 45-yard line. Washington under center takes the snap and hands it off. Van Holten on the rush, fumbles the football. Is there a blue jersey on top of it? There is, and it's Granite Hills football. The Eagles force a fumble, and they retain possession 9 seconds into the fourth quarter. I know Helix scored the first touchdown of this game, but it really hasn't felt like they've had momentum at all tonight. Granite Hills has come to play, and up 28-14 with 11:51 to play in the fourth. They regain possession under the helm of Justice McComb, the future Southwest Minnesota State Mustang. He comes out in the shotgun. Cover 2 defense being shown. He hands it off. And the carry goes for 2 yards shy of the 45 to the 46-yard line. And the Granite Hills defense huddled up on the near sideline, having a great time after the big stop. On the last 2 drives for Helix's offense, they've thrown an interception in the red zone and a fumble at the midfield line. Going back out there, 2nd and 8 in opponent territory. It's up 28-14. 11:15 to play here in the fourth quarter. Takes the shotgun, hands it off. And a nice hole out across to the 40. McVeigh able to carry it for 5 yards, sets up a 2nd and 3, rather a 3rd and 3 from the 41. Austin McVeigh, 5'10 senior, one of the trio of rotating running backs here. And now the offense ready to go with McComb under center. He's going to keep it, pick up a block, run through the A-gap, out across the 40, down to the 36-yard line. That run enough to move the chains for a first down for the Eagles. So 1st and 10. Ball at the 36-yard line, 10-15 and counting here, fourth quarter. And you know Granite Hills is looking to bury this clock as far down as possible in the fourth quarter, up 28-14. And they're coming out here with 2 extra blockers up front, 1 wide receiver. This is basically a jumbo package offensively, letting their linebacker turned quarterback, Justice McComb, do the heavy lifting offensively. Takes the snap, carries it from right to left, turns the corner, has some space across the 30, and he's out of bounds close to the 25. Right at the first down marker is what they're saying. And they're saying he's a tad short, so it'll really second in inches, maybe a fingernail. But 2nd and 1 officially on the 9-yard carry. And even when the defense knows it, even when the defense recognizes in Helix that Justice McComb, he's going to keep that football, this guy is so dynamic, there's not much you can do. 2nd and 1 here for the Eagles, up 28-14, under 9:44 to play here in the fourth quarter. 3 wide receivers in the shotgun here for McComb. He hands it off to McVeigh. McVeigh goes up the middle, but he's met after 2 yards on the gain. Not before he got enough for the first down. That once again moves the sticks here for an Eagles offense that is in absolutely no rush. It's like you're stuck in traffic on the I-5, but you have nowhere to go, so why not just be stuck in traffic as long as you're moving forward? And that's the Eagles' mindset right here. Under 9:30 to play in the fourth quarter, up 2 touchdowns. Continue to chug forward down the field. It's 1st and 10 from the 26, maybe the 25-yard line in Helix territory. McComb in the shotgun, 2 wide receivers, an extra blocker, hands it off to McVeigh. Runs from left to right, but he's met back at the line of scrimmage by a pair of Highlander defensive tackles. 2nd and 10 after the no gain on the play. Gives us an opportunity quickly to thank Scorebook Live, the official digital content partner of the CIF and your destination for following all of your favorite teams and players. Head to scorebooklive.com for scores, play-by-play, and more. Shorts Bodie De Silva, part of the Prep Insider team, does a great job for Scorebook Live. Under 8:35 to go here in the fourth quarter, 28-14. Shotgun formation. Macomb takes it, keeps it, runs left. Picks up a block, finds a hole. And he's finally taken down out across the 20. Looks like the 16-yard line. First down is the 15. Should set up a 3rd and 1 on the 9-yard carry by Macomb. Does have a rushing touchdown here tonight. 6 rushing touchdowns on the season. Threw an interception. Also has a touchdown pass as well. That opened up the game, courtesy of Angel Almazan. Macomb all alone in the backfield. He's going to keep it on 3rd and 2. Gets out across the 10. More than enough for the Eagles' first down. This drive continuing to roll on here now as we hit the 4-minute mark for the Eagles' offense. They were able to regain possession offensively, courtesy of a Helix fumble. Helix's last 2 offensive possessions ended in turnovers and an interception back the 4-yard line. Matt Keeley, the defensive back, with it, and then a fumble on their next offensive possession. Empty set here for the quarterback. Macomb keeps it on the snap, runs upright, out inside the 10, and on 1st and goal from the 10, he's taken down at the 7. 3 yards on the keeper for Macomb. 2nd and goal from the 7, and the Eagles trying to put an exclamation point on this one. They have not beaten Helix since 2005. It has been a long time coming for a program. Kellen Cobbs has been absolutely growing in his 9 seasons at the helm, looking for his first win against the Highlanders. He actually was on the Granite Hills team that beat Helix back in 2005, ironically. So he beat them as a player, never as a coach. Looking to flip the script here with 6:40 and counting to go in the fourth quarter. Macomb keeps. No, it's an option, runs it up, and the pass is caught inside the 5, but not much thereafter. Joaquin Thomas, the receiver on the play. Taken down at the 5-yard line. 3rd and goal from the 5 now. Up 28-14, 6:20 to play here, fourth quarter. Granite Hills offense in their 6th minute of work here. They have been productive every step of the way. Shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left of Macomb. McVeigh in the backfield. He sends him out now as the 5th receiver. They're spread out. Macomb keeps. Bounces out to the left. Extends forward, but he's going to be short about 2 yards. It'll be 4th and goal from the 2 after the 3-yard carry by the quarterback, Justice Macomb. .5:30 and counting here in the game. 28-14. Eagles with it. 4th and goal from the 3. Empty set for the quarterback. He takes the snap, gets a block, bounces out to the right, and he's in for the touchdown. Justice Macomb takes it 3 yards, his 2nd touchdown run tonight. Give him 7 on the season, 34-14. Pending the extra point, Eagles up over Helix here with 5:16 to go in the ball game. The kick is up and through. 35-14, 5:16 to go. And a mountain to climb for Helix in this one. It's not undoable. It's not doable is what we'll say as the cautious optimist that I am. But Granite Hills, you can feel the momentum, the energy just reverberating here on the near sidelines. They feel like they're firmly in control of this one. Ready to go here after the extra point. Eagles will kick this one away with 5:16 to play, up 35-14. They're up by 21, their largest of the game. And here comes the boot. This is a really good kick, the first non-squib kick we've seen. Washington loses it, gets it back out near the 5, runs left, reverbs right. Flags are thrown all over the place after Washington is taken down near the 10. 3 different flags were thrown, I believe all for the same call. But we will see what that official call is. This has been a relatively clean game for all intents and purposes. Haven't seen a ton of flags, a couple of neutral zone infractions, but really nothing else. 5:08 remaining in the game. Officials conversing out near the 15-yard line. Got some mustard on that lettuce, is the term coined here in the press box by one Mr. Hodges. Sort of the famed PA guy for the junior varsity team. But I know he's humble, so he won't admit it. But I'll give him the credit. 5:08 remaining here in the game. 35-14. It's a illegal block in the back on Helix. It's going to move that ball all the way back to the 9-yard line in their own territory. That's a big penalty. So 1st and 10 back at their 9. We'll see how the Highlanders respond down by 3 touchdowns with 5:08 remaining. On the snap, it's a handoff to Washington, able to break a tackle, stay on his feet, bounce off another one, and he's out across the 10 to the 13-yard, maybe the 12. Big run for Washington right there. By the way, it looked like Xavier Loki was under center there. They're running a myriad of guys under center now for Helix. In the pistol, Jesse back out there now, throws a screen pass far side. It's caught out near the 10. Afterburners are turned on out across the 20 to the 25-yard line. On the catch was Tibbs Matovu, 6'2" junior wide receiver, getting his first reception here tonight. 3 wide receivers set, pistol formation, Washington behind Jesse. 1st and 10, ball at the 25-yard line. Jesse rolls out right after the snap, has the receiver open, and it's caught out across the 35 to the 39-yard line. 15-yard pitch and catch. On the reception goes James Johnson, the 5'10" junior. And Helix now working quickly offensively. 4:10 to play here. 4th quarter, down 35-14. And they'll flip sides here. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right of Jesse. Washington behind him. Washington will take the ball on the rush out across the 45, where he's down there after. And we might get a Helix timeout. Clock stops with 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go. 35-14, the score remains. Ball in their own territory for the Highlanders, but they're driving. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 40. But a defensive penalty is called. And that's going to move the ball up a myriad of yards here. Up to the 40 in opponent territory, so now into Eagles territory, the Highlanders offense goes. In the pistol, 3 wide receivers, Washington out behind Jesse, the freshman quarterback. Sends Washington out in motion. 3-step drop, Jesse in trouble, and he's sacked in the backfield. A big sack. Derek Ibarra, sophomore linebacker, getting into the mix. That's the first sack on either side we've actually had here tonight. but it goes for a big loss of 11 on the play. Sets up 2nd and 21. Ball back at the 49-yard line in Highlander territory. 4 wide receiver pistol formation for Jesse. Washington behind him. Takes the snap, 3-step drop. Looks downfield, up the middle, and it's caught back at the original line of scrimmage. And then some chains. James Johnson on the reception. Give him 13 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 7 on the play. On the snap, it's a pistol. Washington takes the carry up the middle, and he's able to get 8 yards to move the chains. A 3rd and 7 out of the pistol. Helix runs the football to effect. And Washington is a fantastic running back. Those legs keep on moving even after initial contact. His spatial awareness is good. His low center of gravity is well utilized. And he's sort of a well-rounded running back here for the Highlanders. 1st and 10, under 2:30 to play in the game. Jesse rolls right. Pressure comes. Has a receiver open. It's caught by Johnson. And he's pushed out shy of the 20-yard line. On the push was Zach Darling, the sophomore defensive back for Granite Hills. 35-14. Score remains. Clock stops at 2:26 to play. And that was an 8-yard reception for Johnson. 2nd and 2. Or rather 9 yards. 2nd and 1. Jesse mostly out of the pistol. The freshman, Rylan Jesse, doing a great job under pressure, but perhaps a little too late. Washington in motion. Jesse on the snap. Looks right. Fade to the end zone. It's almost intercepted. Pass was intended for Johnson, but it was broken up. Zach Darling continuing to get it done. Has a massive reception. Set up a 1st and goal after an interception on the prior Helix offensive snaps. And they're almost getting another one in the end zone. 3rd and 1. 3 wide receivers. Washington out behind the pistol. Jesse hands it off to Washington. Finds a hole. Gets some space. Keeps the legs turning. And he's down inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. 16-yard run for Washington. Sets up a 1st and goal from the 3. Helix working quickly now. 2:10 to go, and timeout is called by the Highlanders offense. Check that. The Granite Hills defense wants to talk. They were not ready for the hurry up that Helix was showing. Gives us an opportunity to thank Aventis Health. Aventis Health congratulates all CIF student athletes, their schools, and supporting communities for their achievements. Your strength inspires us to do more than practice medicine. You inspire us to transform lives. Aventis Health, the official healthcare partner of the CIF. Together, inspired. 2:07 to go here in the ballgame. 35-14. Helix has been shut out here in the second half. But they are going to have a 1st and goal from the 3 out of the timeout. Of course, both these teams have outputted a myriad of stars over the years. Granite Hills has Garrett Karan up at Boise State. Jake Burton, who was at UCLA, now a Baylor, but likely an NFL player here soon. Joe Cardona, the long snapper for the New England Patriots, is a Granite Hills alum. And who could forget Jimmy Johnson, the famed NASCAR driver, 7-time champ, including 2010, 2013, 2016. Who would have thought a NASCAR driver come out of El Cajon? Love it. Get to the notables here for Helix in a moment. Flags are thrown, and I think we might get a delay game on the offense. Which, out of a timeout, I'm not exactly sure. Too many men on the field on the Granite Hills. That's what it is. 12, too many guys. They figured they would need the extra guy to stop Helix's and goal opportunity here. But the refs can count better than I can. And they were able to flag it. That's half the distance. 1st and goal from the 1.5 yard line. Full backfield set. 2 running backs, and to the left and right, and 1 to the back. Washington takes the handoff. Into the pile he goes. The scrum is pushed back, and they're saying that he stopped shy of the goal line. Great stand there from the front 7 for the Eagles. And we'll do it again. 2nd and goal from the 1. Once again, a handoff to Washington. Dives forward into the pile, and he's in for a touchdown. Second rushing touchdown for Christian Washington today. Well, is he in for the touchdown? Yes, he is. Okay, we're good. I read my hand signals right. 35-20, $1:37 to play here in the game. Helix finally on the board here in the second half. Pending the extra point, comes out Lang. Isaac Lang in the boot all evening long here for the Highlanders. Hold is down, kick is up, and it's through. 35-21. Granite Hills' lead is cut to 2 scores, but with $1:37, you need an onside kick, a quick touchdown, and another one. Crazier things have happened. I've been doing this for a long enough time to know that. I'm trying to give some benefit of the doubt here, and I'm getting coordinators shaking their head at me. We started off so well. We were in agreement at the beginning of this game. And now all of a sudden we're disagreeing. Well, I guess that means the night's almost over. Clock stops at 1:37. Helix getting ready to boot. Highlanders in no rush here. Now they get set for the onside kick. Defense ready, everybody up. Shielding that right part of the field. The toughest play in football. The short kick bouncing around and recovered by Granite Hills. At the 48-yard line in their own territory, they'll regain possession with 1:36 to play, up 35-21. And we'll see if we see some of the backups for Granite Hills in. Backup quarterback Domenico Tomaseo, sophomore, 6'3", has had a few snaps this season. He has 12 completions for a hair over 165 yards. An offense back out there. Shotgun formation, 3 receivers and a tight end. Ball in the right hash, 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line in their own territory. Snap, handoff, McVeigh. Runs right into the scrum, and he's taken down back at the line of scrimmage. We'll give him a yard, a courtesy yard, if you will. And Domenico Tomaseo is out there at quarterback, 6'3" sophomore. Timeout taken on the field with 1:29 to play. 35-21, Granite Hills leads. And I'm going to actually sign off quickly after this game ends, folks. I'm going to try and get down to the field and get Justice McComb for an interview right before the night ends. Granite Hills, their first win against Helix since 2005. And it comes in 2021 on a 5-0 spring season. Tomaseo back out there, hands it off, McVeigh on the carry. Chugs out across the 50 down to the 49 in Helix territory. And another timeout called. Coach Robbie Owens burning all 3 that he has in this game. 1:20 is where the clock stops. And, of course, for Helix, Robbie Owens, only 14 losses in 5 seasons coming into this game. He's never lost to Granite Hills. He's never finished under 500 at the helm for the Highlanders. 8-5 was his worst season. That was back in 2018. But this team, who won an Open Division Championship in 2009, opened up the season with a 21-13 loss to St. Augustine. But now, this is really where perhaps the script begins to flip in the East County. Granite Hills establishing their dominance here in 2021. McVeigh in the backfield. Tomaseo out there under center in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers set. He hands it off. And McVeigh fighting for a couple of yards on 3rd and 8. Gets to the 48-yard line. So back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th and 8 with 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining here in the game and counting. And we'll see what the play call here is from Granite Hills coach Kellen Cobbs, who has never beaten Helix as a coach. He beat them as a player, as a senior in 2005. The last time Granite Hills beat Helix, he was a player on the field, also played lacrosse. And here tonight, leading Granite Hills to their first win against Helix since that 05 campaign. 40 seconds to go in the game. I believe we will see Granite Hills take a delay of game. Nope, timeout prior to that. So with 4th and 7 up on the board and 32 seconds to go in the game, up 35-21. Granite Hills calls a timeout for perhaps their last offensive snap here on senior night. What a season it has been to this point for Granite Hills. They opened up at Valhalla 56-7. They beat El Capitan and Grossmont. A big win last week against Steel Canyon, 40-33. But perhaps the biggest win in the program's recent history here tonight against a team who was expected to have Tyler Buckner, the 4-star who's headed to Notre Dame, already on campus, who had graduated Elion Noah, the 3-star running back at Utah State. It may be a rebuild here for Helix as the punt is off. Dribble back to the 34-yard line, and with 22 seconds to go, Helix will have the football back. Down 35-21. Helix High School, of course, home to many great athletes. Reggie Bush and Alex Smith, the most notable. Bill Walton, of course, went to Helix back in the 60s. He claims that Helix is a basketball school, but we all disagree with that. We know that they're a football school. And the Highlanders, one more opportunity here with 22.7 to go. Perhaps just a kneel and a salutation to get back on the road. Now everybody's checking for that Cathedral Lincoln score. Cathedral's the best team in San Diego. We just got the score update. They need to go play some Trinity League teams. Jesse on the snap, rolls right. 18 seconds to go, has a receiver up, out across the 50. It's Washington to the 40, stays up on his feet, down at the 36-yard line in opponent territory, and the clock stopped with 9 seconds to go. Christian Washington is fantastic, folks. One of the best running backs in the section, if I do say so myself. With 6 seconds to go, Jesse, 5-wide set. Last play of the game, steps up in the pocket, rolls right, has a receiver. It's caught, but incomplete. A flag is thrown. The game can't end on a flag. The game cannot end on a flag, and a flag is thrown. I think pass interference is called on the defense, which means we will have one more play in the red zone here for the Highlanders on offense. The game cannot end on a flag. Double zeros on the board, but one more play for the Highlanders offense. 35-21, Granite Hills. Now, if Helix declines the penalty, then the game can be over. But it looks like they're going to accept the pass interference. Ball spotted at the 21-yard line in Granite Hills territory. The first win for Granite Hills against Helix since 2005. And it comes on senior night in a season that may have never happened in another time. What an incredible, storied season for Granite Hills. Timeout on the field. And I believe they're just going to let... Nope, timeout Granite Hills. Fans don't realize, I maybe should say it louder, the game can't end on a flag. So you have to run one more play no matter what to end the game, because that's just how football was created. So Helix has to run one more play. Clock still double zeros, 35-21 the score. And we await for that final snap from the 21-yard line for the Highlander offense. They'll move to 2-3 on the season. Head coach Robbie Owens has never finished below 500 in his career at Helix. Granite Hills will move to 6-0 on the season, and they will have quite a season finale. They'll play Carlsbad next week. Carlsbad was up 35-0 tonight at halftime. And you know that both these teams are licking their chops for the season finale next week. All right, Helix offense back out there. Jesse, 4 wide set. As Washington, now 5 wide set, splits them out wide. Last play of the ball game. The freshman takes the snap, steps up into the end zone. Washington is there, incomplete, and the ball game is over. The final score from Granite Hills, the first victory for the Eagles since 2005 against Helix, and it comes 35-21. The seniors are celebrating.
It's been quite.
What a ball game, and what an evening. For everybody who made this broadcast possible, special thanks to our friends here at Granite Hills and Helix. My name is Jonathan Rifkin signing off. I'll be at Mount Miguel tomorrow morning for some boys basketball. They host West Hills. The final 35-21, Granite Hills with the victory. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Have a great weekend. We'll see you real soon. This has been a presentation of football brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, the CIF San Diego Section Prep Insider Football Game of the Day. Enjoy the rest of your Friday evening.